Once upon a time, in a peaceful little village, there lived a poor laborer who earned a simple living by digging soil for hire. Every day, he would wake up early, take his shovel and faithful donkey, and head out to the fields to work under the scorching sun. His job was to dig up soil, load it onto his donkey's back, and sell it to make ends meet. Despite the hardships, he always remained optimistic, never wishing for more than a warm meal and a roof over his head to shield him from the rain and sun. One morning, while digging as usual, his shovel suddenly struck something hard buried in the ground. Curious, he stopped and cleared the dirt with his hands. In front of him appeared a sparkling stone, glowing strangely under the sunlight. He picked it up and turned it around in his hands, thinking it was beautiful, but he had no idea of its true value. To him, it was just a peculiar-looking rock with an attractive shine. Without much thought, he decided to tie the stone to the bridle of his donkey, treating it as a decoration. The donkey carried the shining stone all around the village, while its owner remained unaware that it was, in fact, a precious diamond, one that could have changed his life forever. But due to his lack of knowledge and simple way of living, he continued his daily routine, carrying the stone as if it were worthless. One sunny afternoon, as the laborer was leading his donkey past the village market, a wealthy merchant happened to notice the glimmering stone hanging from the donkey's bridle. The merchant owned a small but successful grocery shop and was known for his keen eye for rare objects. Drawn by the sparkling stone, he quickly stepped out of his shop and approached the laborer with curiosity. "What is that shiny thing tied around your donkey's neck?" he asked. The laborer replied honestly, "Oh, that? It's just a stone I found while digging. It looked shiny, so I tied it there for fun. I don't really know what it is." The merchant studied the stone closely and smiled subtly. He had a feeling that the stone might be valuable, but he didn't let that show. After a brief pause, he offered to buy it for 50 rupees. The laborer, surprised but delighted, agreed immediately. For him, 50 rupees was a large sum for something he thought was just a shiny rock. The deal was made quickly. Back at his shop, the merchant hung the stone on an old brass scale as a decorative piece. The stone continued to sparkle under the shop lights, catching the attention of every customer who came in. Yet, neither the merchant nor the laborer realized they had just possessed and let go of a priceless diamond. One sunny day, while the village market was buzzing with activity, a jeweler from town entered the merchant's shop to buy some supplies. As he stepped inside, his eyes were instantly drawn to the gleaming stone hanging from the brass scale in the center of the shop. He moved closer, examining it with the experienced eyes of a professional. In just a few seconds, the jeweler realized the truth. This glittering stone was no ordinary decorative rock. It was a rare, uncut diamond of immense value. With a heart pounding in excitement, he turned to the merchant and asked, "Where did this stone come from? Why is it hanging here like a decoration?" The merchant shrugged casually. "Oh, I bought it from a poor laborer. He said he found it while digging. I thought it looked nice, so I bought it for 50 rupees. Trying to remain calm, the jeweler pretended to be unimpressed. He asked, "If I wanted to buy it from you, how much would it cost?" 100 rupees, the merchant replied quickly. "If you like it, take it." The jeweler frowned and tried to haggle. "I'll only pay 80 rupees. If that's okay, I'll take it. If not, I'll leave it." The merchant shook his head, unwilling to change his price. So the jeweler left, thinking he could return the next day and still buy it for 90 rupees. But what he didn't know was that once-in-a-lifetime opportunities rarely wait. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the market grew quiet, another jeweler from a distant town happened to pass through the village. On his way home from a long trip, his cart suddenly broke down, and he had to stop for repairs. While waiting, he stepped into the merchant's small shop to rest and get some water. The moment he walked in, his eyes were immediately drawn to the sparkling object hanging from the old scale in the middle of the shop. He walked closer and carefully examined every facet of the stone. Under the oil lamp's glow, the diamond's sharp, clear reflections mesmerized him. Being a skilled jeweler, he instantly recognized the gem's true value. This was not some decorative trinket. It was a rare and priceless diamond. Without hesitation, he turned to the merchant and asked, "Is that stone for sale?" The merchant smiled and replied, "Of course, it's 100 rupees." Without bargaining or delay, the jeweler pulled out his wallet, counted exactly 100 rupees, and handed it over. The diamond changed hands swiftly and quietly. The merchant probably didn't fully understand the stone's true value, but he was satisfied to have sold it for twice what he paid. As for the second jeweler, through his decisiveness and experience, he had just acquired a treasure beyond measure in the blink of an eye. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight peeked over the rooftops, the first jeweler returned to the merchant's shop, feeling confident. He was certain that today, by offering 90 rupees, he would easily purchase the dazzling stone he had seen the day before. In his mind, he had already imagined owning a priceless diamond for a bargain. But when he entered the shop and looked around, he froze. The sparkling stone was gone. He rushed to the merchant and anxiously asked, "Where's that stone that was hanging here yesterday? I came back to buy it." The merchant calmly replied, "Oh, just after you left, another gentleman came in. He saw the stone, asked to buy it. I said it was 100 rupees. He paid immediately and took it." The jeweler's face turned pale. His eyes filled with a mix of regret and anger. Raising his voice, he exclaimed, "You fool! That wasn't just a shiny rock, it was a priceless diamond, and you sold it for only 100 rupees. The merchant laughed and answered coolly, "Sir, I truly didn't know it was a diamond, but you did. Yet you still argued over 20 rupees and walked away. So tell me, who's the real fool?" That statement hit like a thunderbolt, leaving the jeweler speechless, full of regret and unable to argue. This seemingly simple tale of a diamond carries profound lessons about how we see value, how we seize opportunity, and when we choose to act. From this story, we can draw 3 powerful life lessons. 1. Save wisely, not blindly. Frugality is a virtue, but blind stinginess can cost you more than you imagine. The first jeweler lost a life-changing opportunity over just 20 rupees. Saving isn't wrong, but know where and when it's appropriate. 2. Don't miss your chance. Some people think they're too smart, analyzing endlessly and waiting for the perfect moment. But while they wait, the moment slips away. The first jeweler saw the diamond's value but hesitated and lost. Life doesn't wait, and neither do opportunities. 3. Act immediately. As the saying goes, never put off till tomorrow what you can do today. When you know what must be done, do it. Hesitation only robs you of your advantage. The second jeweler acted without delay, and his decisiveness brought him a treasure. You are watching the video on YouTube Tales Unfold.